Today, let us discuss about air conditioning. We'll be first discussing about the psychrometric properties. Psychrometric properties means we will be studying the properties of air, both dry bulb, wet bulb temperatures, as well as the humidity. Generally, the humidity is considered as the relative humidity. We'll be discussing about these terms when we go into the details of the subject. So what for the air conditioning? What for it is required? As we know, it's for comfort, but at the same time, there are other industrial usages where heating and humidifications they are needed in the textile industries and then photographic industries. Later on, if you see the hospital air conditioning, more sterilization is required. Similarly, there are many areas where the temperature and humidity are to be controlled, not only the dust and other things. So, with this background, let us go into the study of the psychrometry. I am following the textbook Arora and Dom Kundwar, which you know already. So, when we go into the meaning of air conditioning, what American Society of Heating Ventilation Engineers have told, those definitions are given. And basically, the air conditioning can be divided into summer air conditioning, winter air conditioning, and year round air conditioning. As we know, summer air conditioning is we want the control of dry bulb temperature, that means we want cooling, and at the same time, there will be dehumidification. I will explain to you later on. These two are the combined things, cooling as well as the dehumidification. And in the winter, we need heating and humidification. That is just opposite to summer air conditioning. And when these two together are there in the total equipment, then it is known as the year round air conditioning, where we can control the temperature, humidity. That means the dry bulb temperature and the wet bulb temperature. And of course, the elimination of the dust and cleanliness of the air, they are all very important. And at the same time, one more important factor is that the air flow. Suppose we are sitting in a room, say in the classroom, there is no air conditioner, but we would like to sit under a fan. Why do you want to sit under a fan? Because the air circulation will be there and you will feel comfortable. How this air is making you comfortable means there are two things happening. One is your body temperature slightly reduces because of the movement of the air, and at the same time the humidity, that is the moisture on your body, that is the sweat on your body, gets evaporated. So that is the main thing. When the sweat is getting evaporated, evaporation causes cooling. Because of that, when the sweat is getting evaporated, it takes the heat from the body itself, from the pores of the skin, and then finally it gets the moisture gets evaporated, sweat gets evaporated, and the human being feels comfortable. So there is a need is there that there should be an air flow. That's why air circulation is most important in the air conditioning. Not only the dry bulb temperature or the temperature and the relative humidity and the cleanliness of the air, and then circulation of the air, and how much speed should be there inside the room over the human beings. These are all the important parameters which we will be discussing in the air conditioning. Okay. First, let us discuss the psychrometry and the psychrometric properties. Psychrometry itself is the study of the properties of air. Okay. The first important parameter is the dry bulb or the dry air or the dry bulb. So let us say when we say dry air, that means we know that the air consists of the 79% of the nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, and other things. But the molecular weight is taken as the 29. And we talk about the moist air, that means that the dry air along with the water vapor is there. You cannot have air without any moisture content. The moisture content varies. When we say it is in Hyderabad, we say it's a dry climate. That means the moisture content is less. Whereas in the coastal areas like Chennai and other places, the moisture content is more. The water vapor is more in the air. That's moist air. So there we can say automatically we can say the humidity is more, and the humidity is less in our Hyderabad. This is how we can say what is a dry air and what is a moist air. Okay. Next comes the water vapor. The water vapor is present in the air. So that is the reason it's called the moist air. Okay. Now, what is dry bulb temperature? What is wet bulb temperature? These are very important parameters when we go into the details of the air conditioning. We know that dry bulb temperature is nothing but the temperature of the thermometer. When we measure it in thermometer, either mercury or alcohol, any thermometer, when you are measuring the temperature of the air, then when the bulb is dry, there is no wetness on the bulb. That means ordinary thermometer, when it is measuring the temperature of the air, that is called the dry bulb temperature. And when we call it as a wet bulb temperature, actually there is a small instrument known as a psychrometer, where two thermometers will be there. One is dry bulb and one is a wet bulb. For the wet bulb, already there will be a wick, a small wick will be there, and then the wick will be dipped in a small plastic bottle consisting of water. So when the water is coming through the wick up to the bulb, then it gets evaporated according to the condition of the place. Suppose you are keeping the dry bulb wet bulb thermometer in Hyderabad, that is being the dry conditions. So the moisture gets evaporated faster into the air. Thereby, it is taking the heat from the bulb itself. That means the wick gets dried up faster and it takes the water from the plastic bottle. Okay. So because of this process, what is happening? The mercury in the thermometer falls. Then the temperature gets reduced. Suppose the dry bulb temperature is around 40 degrees centigrade. The wet bulb can become around 35 or so, depending on the situation. Okay. Whereas same dry bulb thermometer, dry bulb and wet bulb thermometer, if you keep it in the Chennai area, then definitely that much drop will not be there in the wet bulb. The difference between the dry bulb and wet bulb will be almost very nearer, say 40 and 38, like that. Okay. And what is dew bulb temperature? It is also known as the dew point temperature. What do you mean by the dew point temperature? You must have observed when you are going in a car, if the outside rain is there, okay, on the glass you will see with a wiper, the wiper wipes out, but there will be moisture inside the glass also. Where from this moisture has come? On the inside of the glass. That means dew formation. The dew point temperature has been attained for those conditions. The dew point temperature of the air has been attained for the moisture, and the moisture became dew on the dew drops. You must have find that the dew drops are on the grass in the early mornings when we go out. You'll find that in some seasons. Okay, these are the dry bulb, wet bulb temperatures. what is a dry air, what is a moist air, what is water vapor, dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature, and dew point temperature. Okay, let us see the further properties of the psychrometry.